We're here with Representative JoAn Wood from Rigby, the head of the House Transportation and Defense Committee. There are several options for finding new funding for state roads on the table. What options, are there any options that you prefer, and if so, why do you prefer those?
Well, there is an option that I prefer, and it's difficult to try to do it because it is the sales tax on cars, used cars and new cars, tires, auto parts, those kinds of things, and they are that money right now coming off of that sales tax all goes into the general fund. So right now the general fund is really struggling, and we've had to do a lot of cutbacks. So beginning to take the money out and put it in dedicated into transportation is not an option. However, that's the option I would choose because the people are already paying that.
Right.
But so what we're looking at realistically is the fuel tax is a diminishing return because of new fuel efficient vehicles. So what we are dealing with now is how much into the future can we depend upon the federal fuel tax and the state fuel tax if it remains the same as it is and our costs are going up. That's the dilemma we're facing now. What we're looking at is some revenue enhancements, and that means raising taxes so that what is acceptable to people and what is not. Some of the things we've found that have been acceptable is like Ada County has done a local option tax on registration of their vehicles, and they've done that based on accomplishing certain things, paying off bonds, building something that is very needed in the community, and that is a vote of the people. And I think that would be my second option, particularly for areas that are receiving federal funds and state funds, but not enough to accomplish what their needs really are. And so we're looking at what areas put sales or property tax into the mix, and some people don't, some counties don't. So what we are looking at is a pretty good shopping list of different ideas, what some other states around us are doing, what's working well. Right now, it looks like registration and fuel tax has been the only thing we've really depended upon in the past, and fuel tax is getting less and less a viable option. So then we're looking at the new energy efficient vehicles that burn either biofuels of some kind or electrical, and joint gasoline and electrical. And how are we going to accommodate those vehicles that use our highways and yet not get the return from them on buying fuel? So I think we have to look at the sales tax some way or another. Even if we bring the new types of vehicles on board, eventually we're going to have to look at that as the equitable way.
Right.
They're talking about indexing. An index would be a incremental change that would happen automatically. The legislature is going to struggle with that because we feel like anytime taxes are raised, the legislature needs to be responsible for that, and we need to be answerable to the people at home whether they want that or not. And if we put it in automatically to go, a lot of people think, well, they won't even notice it, and yet others will be upset because they will say to us, why did you vote for that? Well, we may have voted for that 6 years ago, and they just now are realizing that it has automatically crept up. Right. So that's the discussion we are having.
Okay.